guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. We are here for another one of our mass making sessions, and this is the first one for 2021, so welcome in, guys. And what I thought we could do today, I saw an awesome idea on Sue from Paper Inspirations. I saw an awesome idea on her channel. She just put a video up a couple of days ago, so I will try my best to remember to link it. If I don't, please just nudge me, and I will of course include the links there for her video. But she did an awesome pocket, which is a kind of fold out pocket on a hinged piece. And what she was doing was, you know, trying to use up some of her 12 by 12 papers. And so she was cutting them down and then making them into kind of 6 by 6 papers to make the pocket. So if you want to join along, what I have brought along, I've brought along a variety of some 12 by 12 papers. I tried to include only double-sided papers. Because you will see when we do the pocket, you're going to see both sides of the paper. So yeah, I've tried to include double-sided. I have also brought along a 6 by 6 paper, just because I will be able to use that as a template to make sure that I have, you know, done my paper kind of in half. I mean, of course, they don't have to be 6 by 6. We could adapt them to other sizes. And then I have also brought along some of my printables, which again, I have brought along printables that I have printed on both sides, so that you can see kind of using a paper pad and using kind of printed things and things like that. So aside from that, sorry, I've brought along my scissors. You may need a bone folder and glue. You can stitch these, you don't have to. You could use glue or you could use stitching, completely and utterly up to you. And then the only other thing, you may like to have a, you know, circle punch to do your thumb holes. Now I have to say, my 1-inch circle punch has broken of late. You know, they kind of just sometimes get like jammed. So yeah, unfortunately, I haven't really got that now. But I have, however, got a 1.5-inch circle punch, so I may use that instead. Excuse me, I just had to stop that just to sneeze. Right, so let's get making and see how we kind of make these pockets then. They were absolutely lovely. So Sue, if you happen to catch this video, I just want to say thank you for the great inspiration. So all I'm going to do is take my 12 by 12 paper and just bone folder it down. So I'm just folding it in half and just squishing it down. For me, that just, you know, that's just an easy way to obviously cut it down rather than using a paper trimmer, which, you know, I don't particularly get on brilliantly with. So I'm just going to then cut it down right along on the edge as close as I can to that fold mark. And that will effectively just cut that piece of paper in half. Now, you can tear this, of course, which I do sometimes do, because I don't mind those lovely kind of, you know, where you get that slightly frayed edge. So I may do that for some, but if not, you know, you could just cut it. And of course you could use your paper trimmer. And then all I'm going to do is now cut my piece to the 6 by 6 size. So again, I'm taking it up. Now, if you can see my 12 by 12 paper, this one has got a, you know, perforated edge there where it was kind of held into the pad. So I'm just going to go up to there like that. Again, squish that down and then just fold that over. And then again, just going to trim that down here, going along as close as I can to that edge. Like I say, I mean, these are not an exact science, so they really don't need to be, you know, 6 by 6 exactly or anything like that. Sue was, as I say, trying to use up some of her 12 by 12 papers, and of course they lend themselves nicely to being cut into quarters. But these are going to be adaptable to, you know, any size. And I mean, actually, they may even work if it wasn't square. I'm not sure. We'll have to have a play around. So then what you want to do is you're going to make basically a little pocket that then you're going to have a hinged part and a pocket part, if you see what I mean. So you're going to want to decide which side of your paper, if you've got double-sided paper that's obviously not the same, you're going to have to decide which, you know, which paper you want showing more of, if you see what I mean. So I obviously always really quite like spotties. So I think I'm going to have the spotties for my pocket. So I just fold that down like that. And then all you're going to do is fold it, cut it where you want your pocket to be. So again, you know, it's not really, or it doesn't need to be an exact science. You can just kind of cut it wherever you fancy. So if you want obviously a taller pocket, you could have kind of a smaller hinged piece. You know, you just have to be mindful that you may compromise your, you know, the strength of the hinge if you ended up with a very small hinge as opposed to, you know, roughly halfway. I hope that makes sense. I kind of feel it's even confusing to myself. Hopefully it will make more sense once we cut into it. So I'm just going to cut down there in the middle like that. So that's my pocket and that's my hinge, if you see what I mean. So my hinge would be over the page like that, glued onto the page, and then this is my little foldy pocket like that. So you can see I have not made a brilliant job of cutting this, so I'm just going to cut it down slightly there. Okay, now then at this point, Sue did stitch around hers. Again, you know, that's optional really. So you could either stitch just around your pocket piece here. You could stitch right, you know, right around so it looks kind of more uniform, I guess, you know, around the whole thing. Or of course you could glue. So I'm going to just, I think, glue this just to kind of, you know, give you options really, because I know not everyone has a sewing machine. And for your thumb hole, this is going to look ginormous on here. So yeah, excuse the fact that I'm now using a 1.5 inch punch, but if I just kind of go in there, to be fair, that doesn't look quite as ridiculous as I thought it might. So yeah, it's not too bad. And then what you can do is for your hinge, oops, just try and kind of get that roughly in the middle. For your hinged piece that's going to be then glued to the paper, you can obviously put another pocket there. So when you attach this, I know I'm not really making much sense, but you would glue it down on these three sides, and then your pocket would be a little, you know, foldy out pocket like that. I hope this is making some sort of sense to you guys. So it sounds confusing to my own ears, but yeah, hopefully it will make more sense, because I will obviously show you how it would look on a journal page in a moment. So right, let's just get my glue. So just want to go right down as close as you can really to the edge like that. Okie dokie, and then we just squish that down. Okay, I might have to go off and get one of my dry wipes. I keep all my, you know, pre-dried wipes I keep in my door hanger, you know, that I made myself, and of course I'm not near the door, so I'm just going to nip off and get them. Okay, so I've got my dry wipe now, and we can just squish that down. So aren't they just so super cute? I really do like them. And, you know, of course, I mean, you could have them this way round with like your pocket here, like that. Or you could have them this way round with your pocket, you know, on the page like that. Completely, you know, versatile in how you use them. So they're just a really lovely kind of pocket, aren't they? So let's move that to one side, and I will bring in another piece. We'll do something different, another, you know, different pattern, so as we get a few different ones going on. Oops, just looking through what I've brought along. It's mainly from the same paper pack, but we have got this one because we don't want them all looking obviously identical, do we? So again, I'm just going to fold this down in half like that. I mean, actually, now that I have made one, because I actually hadn't made them, you know, prior to this video, I had just literally seen them this morning and thought, oh, what a fantastic idea, you know, great for our mass making. And now having seen them, I think actually they would be brilliant and work absolutely fine in all different sizes. So I might do a couple of bigger ones in a minute. So let's just drop this down. Made a terrible job of that, I must say. Okay, So I've got my separate pieces, and again, just kind of now fold that down. Okay, and then I'm just going to cut that down now. Like that. Okay, so again, just want to work out, you know, which way you want your patterned paper. So for this one, you know, if I were to do this, we would have this here, but I think I probably want the, you know, this section showing. So I'm just going to fold it over like that. And again, just then bone folder that down. Again, just cut that down sort of in the middle, or, you know, roughly where you want it. Oops. Like that. And then again, you know, you could either have your hinged piece this way, if you see what I mean, like that, or again, you could bend it back on itself and have it this way round. Completely up to you. So I quite like that, because I like the fact that, you know, you don't have to have it one way, you can have it kind of either way. So it just makes it a bit more fun, doesn't it? Because then with one pocket you've got multiple kind of looks. So again, just going to take my thumb hole and just punch that in. Oops. And then just in this one, like that. Okay, and again, I'm just going to glue that down for, you know, the purposes of obviously those of you who don't have a sewing machine. I'm pretty sure, I think Sue did stitch hers, like I say, but, you know, you don't have to stitch them. I think they, oops, I think they're just as nice glued. So that's that piece. And that's that. So they're just lovely, aren't they? I really, really, really like them, I must say. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, to be honest, they're so versatile that looking at it now, you could even glue the entire thing onto the page and actually just have this as just purely a, you know, a little fold out piece. You could even add another sheet of paper here. So you have a fold out pocket with some journaling space here. And then whatever you tuck into this pocket would actually hold this flap shut. So, you know, they've got tons and tons of different ways that you can use these, which I absolutely just love. So yeah, they're really awesome pockets. So let's try and make a slightly bigger one. So we'll just take, I'm going to take one of my printable pieces, I think. So this is from my Purple Rain kit. So I'm just wondering, I mean, I guess let's just have a look. Yeah, I mean, what we could do is kind of have it there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it along that kind of line, like that. Okay, and I'm just going to squish that down. This might look rubbish in the bigger size because obviously I have not tried this before. So yeah, I may kind of come to eat my words and think, oh, it looks rubbish. So I'm going to just trim it down. I'm actually going to trim it down slightly more because perhaps I've gone a bit too huge. So just trimming it down there. Again, obviously I have double-sided this, and this has been printed on 200 GSM cardstock, so, or, you know, papery card. So it's not, you know, super thin or anything. And then what I think I'm going to do is, I mean, obviously I would probably like to keep these ladies in their entirety, rather than kind of chop them in the middle. So I think I probably want to cut it off at the top and then perhaps a bit off the bottom. So yeah, I think what I might do is, oh, I don't know. See, I've overcomplicated it now. Maybe I should not have said, oh, these could be done in all different sizes, but I was obviously excited to try it. So I'm going to trim this down here. And then I'm just going to go in here like that. Okay. Okay, well that's not gone too badly actually. I just need to trim this top piece, which always trim into the fold. I obviously did not do that, and then I needed to neaten it up, because if you trim away from the fold, i.e. like that, what happens is by the end your paper generally kind of does this weird motion like that, whereas if you snip into the fold, you know, I mean, I think, I'm not kind of obviously telling you all what to do, but I just find it makes it a lot easier to get it straight right to the end. So that's a bigger one, which to be honest, you know, I think is quite nice. I quite like it. So yeah, no rules here. You could just literally mix them up and have them all different sizes. So again, I'm just going to put my thumb hole, you know, roughly in the middle there, and then one here for the bottom, like that. And then of course for this one, so, you know, again, you could have then multiple ways of using this. You could have that like that. You could have it obviously like that. You could again do as we just talked about, where we then put another sheet of paper on the back of here. Oops. Like that. Whereby you have an actual pocket in here, pocket here, and then that would... Should we just do that? Because I feel like I'm just waffling on and maybe it's not really making much sense. So let's do that, shall we? So again, I'm just going to go in and glue this section down. Like that. And then squish that down like that. What a fantastic pocket to have so many different ways that you can change it. I mean, I just love it when you get a pocket that can be altered like so simply, but really then change the entire kind of way that you use it. It, you know, it really kind of makes it very fun, doesn't it? Right, so let's just then get another piece here. So I'm thinking probably like that. Let me just check what would be showing at the top. Yeah, that's okay, isn't it? So just going to go round, and I'm going to glue here like that across the bottom, and then whoops, up the side like that. Right, now then what you're going to want to do is obviously glue your pocket on like that. And again, kind of take it up to your fold, but not so you're going to compromise it when you fold it. Because if it's too close to your fold, what happens is obviously the paper gets, you know, crushed. So like that. Okay. And then of course I will trim this up. So just squash that down. And then what I can do is take this out like this. Just trim that down there. Trim it across the bottom. And then I'm just going to trim it here because it's just got a little bit of a kind of overlap there. Okay, so I might need to just trim that down slightly more. Don't know whether that's kind of compromising that pocket. I'll just check whether that pocket's accessible. Oh, it is, look. So then you could obviously have a tag in that pocket there. Take that out, and then what you've got is obviously a foldy out. So you've got your pocket here in the top, pocket here, and then journaling space here. So, you know, really, really, really cute. I absolutely love it. Oh, yeah, brilliant. Absolutely love that. So I will be a bit quiet now about the process because obviously, you know, it's, you know, not too complicated or anything, but I probably will mix and match and do different things. So yeah, hopefully, you know, we can just relax now, have a nice time, just catch up, and yeah, just really enjoy ourselves. So just going to take some paper here. Again, just mixing it up, I think. So probably not as big as that one, but maybe still quite big. So maybe kind of like, yeah, this kind of size, I think. So again, just squish that down. So I hope everyone's having a good week. I know it's only early in the week. I mean, I always film these on the Monday before, you know, uploading them on the Tuesday. So it's super early in my week. And, anyone in the UK may have heard the news, but the schools which we were obviously fully expecting to be going back, they have not now gone back. I knew that the secondary schools, there was some doubt as to whether they were going to be going back, certain year groups anyway. So my middle son, obviously, you know, I was fully expecting to be, you know, staying home until the 18th of January. And, you know, that's absolutely fine. You know, because, I mean, obviously he's thrilled to bits to be not going back. And, you know, I mean, obviously he can do his own kind of online learning and things like that. So it's not too much of a problem. My daughter, who absolutely loves school, and of course, you know, yeah, is very bored being at home with mummy and daddy with our lame attempts at playing and what have you. You know, she was obviously looking forward to going back to school, and, you know, of course I was quite looking forward to being able to kind of crack on and do some videos and some work and, you know, go on my Facebook group and all that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, the primary schools now also, well, it's undecided at this moment. So whilst I'm filming this, it's, yeah, undecided. At the moment, the school that she goes to have said it's a 2-day, you know, homeschooling this week while they decide what are going to be the plans going forward. So she's home today and tomorrow, and then we will hear more from the school as to whether or not she's going to be then, you know, going back or not. I have to say I'm a bit torn with this one because I actually really love both sides of that paper, but actually I think I prefer it this way around. Yeah. Yeah, so she now is home, so it's kind of like mucked up my plans for getting super organised. I mean, of course, you know, I just want everyone staying safe, you know, so I mean, obviously if they've decided that it's not really safe for the children to go back to school, that's fair enough, isn't it? But, you know, from a purely selfish point of view, I was really, really looking forward to just kind of cracking on, doing lots of videos and, you know, just kind of reconnecting with you guys and, you know, just getting on with quite a few things that obviously I didn't really kind of get a chance to do over the Christmas holiday. So who knows? Hopefully the schools will decide that they are safe enough to, you know, reopen properly on Wednesday. But if not, then obviously she will be home and we'll have to kind of then just see. So I might just leave this one like this, and then I've got options when I come to use that. So that's that one. And these papers, sorry, were my Pink Parisian kit. So that's those. Might do another one with a 12x12 paper, but possibly in a different size actually. So let's take this one and do one. Yeah, let's do one in a different size. Yeah, so she is home at the moment. And so that's, again, why I'm not doing the covers today. I know that I did say, you know, we could do covers in a mass make, and lots of you did say that you would like to do covers. So, you know, I haven't forgotten, and they're still on my list of we will definitely do some covers. Again, I was waiting and I was intending on doing them today. You know, once she had gone back to school, because the main reason is I just thought the covers, I think, will probably then have a sort of second episode showing how to then use your covers once you have kind of done the basic. I mean, of course, that's not going to be for everybody, and, you know, not everyone probably would be interested in having a two-part thing. But I know that lots of you probably, you know, would appreciate maybe a second kind of part. So, yeah, that's kind of the main reason that it maybe is a bit involved. You know, from my point of view, obviously, I then struggle to kind of keep focused and, you know, keep it going kind of over 2 days when, you know, while she's at home. So, because it's just a bit distracting, to be honest. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. So the covers, they're still on my list of, you know, I will be getting around to doing those, but I just would prefer, you know, prefer her to be back at school really before I kind of do that, just because I can picture that that may go into, you know, certainly a second video, you know, kind of then using the covers and how to kind of then incorporate them into a journal. Because I don't know about you guys, but often, you know, I may do my covers the last thing. You know, that's kind of how I generally kind of do them, is I will do the cover as the last thing. Not always, but I would say, you know, certainly 7 out of 10 times, or maybe 8 out of 10 times, the cover is normally the last thing that I would do, depending on then how I've decorated the inside of the journal. So, you know, for me, making a cover to then incorporate with a journal and making them then flow together, you know, that's going to be a bit of a challenge in its own, or on its own. So I thought that maybe some of you guys would appreciate a second video then looking at how to kind of tie that cover in with another, you know, with your journal, if you see what I mean. So yeah, that's kind of where I was at with that. So right, let's just have a look and see what we've got here. Okay. Oops. Sorry, just deciding what other papers are going to look really good as these pockets. So these are my birds, bees and butterflies kit. It's quite a new kit. It's been in the shop for about 3 weeks, I think. I think they would make quite nice, yeah, quite nice versions of these pockets. So again, let's try and do, I think, maybe this kind of size. So it sounds like my daughter's in the garden at the moment. So my husband also is working from home, and, you know, of course, he's been on annual leave over Christmas, but he's obviously gone back today as well. So, you know, again, he's kind of doing the homeschooling, such as it is, this morning, and then I will kind of do my bit this afternoon. So, yeah, I'm going to try and do as many videos and things as I can this morning, you know, and then we'll go from there. So I'm just having a look at this, deciding which side I want the pocket to be. Oh, it's so tricky sometimes. You know, when you've got quite nice papers, it's hard to know, you know, hard to decide which side you want to, you know, have more showing. Right, there we go. So then I'm going to go, oh, I still can't decide. Right, let's do this one. So just go, actually, then I'm going to punch my thumb hole in the middle of that butterfly, which is a shame. So from that point of view, I think we'll go this side instead. Okay. Okie dokie. Oh, my daughter and I have been watching Anne with an E on Netflix. It's an adaptation of Anne of Green Gables, and I couldn't tell you who's in it or anything. Well, I do recognise actually the main characters, but I couldn't tell you who they are. But oh, it's so lovely. It's really good. We're really enjoying it. It's literally just her and I are watching it, and yeah, it's really, really nice. And we've just started, I think we've just gone on to episode 1 of the 2nd season. I think there's 3 seasons. So yeah, we're really, really enjoying that. There we go. We're still watching, my middle son and I are still watching How to Get Away with Murder, which I know I talked about previously, but we haven't actually watched any more of that because, of course, again, you know, that's not suitable for my daughter, and because it was the school holidays, she was going to bed pretty late and things like that. So we really haven't kind of cracked on with that at all. So yeah, and there's 6 seasons. I couldn't believe it. 6 seasons of that. So it looks like that's going to just take us absolutely ages to get through that series. But yeah, we're really enjoying that as well. I've got some of my Bluebird and Blossoms here, and I thought I'd double-sided some of those as well on the thicker paper, and now I'm looking, I can't now see any. Seem to only have that in thin paper, double-sided, so perhaps I won't be using that. Oh, that's a shame. Oh, that is a bit of a shame. Oh, okay, got some here. So again, this is just something that was laying around on my desk. A kind of overspill of something else that I had been doing. So again, let's just take this and, you know, do one with this. Just something else then gone from my desk, which obviously is always awesome, isn't it, to get some bits off of the desk. Okay. Just trim that down. Thank you so much to everybody who watched the New Year collaboration that Joey DeFee kindly put together. And obviously we all did kind of slightly different, well, totally different projects. All of those of us who kind of have participated in the challenge. But it was quite strange because, you know, I mean, I didn't know what anyone else was doing. I don't think anyone knew what anyone else was doing. But it was quite funny because I did my art journal spread. And so thank you so much to your really kind comments. I had such a lovely time doing it. And it really was very relaxing. I literally can't wait to do another, you know, art journal spread. So, yeah, I really hope you guys will join me with that this year. Because, you know, hopefully we'll kind of do lots and lots of those because it was just absolutely lovely to do. So, yeah, thank you so much. But it was quite a coincidence because actually Rachel then did starting an art journal as well. So obviously we must have been kind of, you know, thinking along the same lines. It was just really strange because, like I say, you know, didn't know what other ones were doing, and yeah, I couldn't believe it when I then saw, oh, she's also starting an art journal. So yeah, that's really super fun. And actually then, strangely enough, Wendy from Wendy's Journal Adventures, I mean, she wasn't in the collaboration, but weirdly enough, she also put up an art journal spread a couple of days later. So that was just really, really peculiar. I just thought, oh, wow, we're all, you know, thinking along the same lines, which was really strange. Sorry about that. I just had to stop it to sneeze again. I seem to have the same cold that I have had, which seemed to be clearing up, and now it's come back slightly. But, I mean, I feel absolutely fine. You know, but yeah, it's just causing me to sneeze a couple of times every now and then. So, okay. Right, now, because I've stopped the video several times, I've lost track of how long we've been filming for. So I'd best double check that. Hold on. Okay, it looks like we're up to about, I think it was about 33 minutes. Obviously, they're all in chunks, so I kind of just, you know, skipped the seconds. But so this is my English Country Garden papers, and I thought we'll just make one with these. And this has just been backed with the plain kind of coffee dyed page that comes with the papers. So I'm just deciding again which section I would prefer. Oh, it's tricky because again, I really like both, or you know, each side. I think probably this side though. just going to kind of swing it. Okay. So it's my daughter's birthday later on this week. And again, she was very excited because she was obviously thinking she would be at school and be able to take sweets in for everyone. That's what they kind of do when it's somebody's birthday. You know, they're allowed to take sweets in to give to everyone at the end of the day. And of course now, you know, we're waiting to hear whether she will or won't be back at school. Yeah, so we're going to have to kind of see whether she will be back at school or not. But yeah, so that's kind of a bit of a shame for her if she ends up not being at school, because, you know, it's really fun, isn't it? You know, being at school on your birthday and getting everybody sort of singing happy birthday to you and things, you know, that's really nice when you're that age, isn't it? So yeah, I hope, you know, I hope for her sake that she does end up being in school, because I think, you know, it's a shame if she will miss that, but you know, it is what it is. Oh, and thank you so much to everyone who wished my son a happy birthday. So his birthday was on New Year's Eve, and he was 18. And yeah, I mean, of course, it was not the, you know, the celebration that he would have hoped to be having for his 18th, but it was fine. We had a nice time. We did a, would you believe, a virtual escape room, which, I mean, you know, who knew that they even did such things? But actually, when you start looking, it's quite shocking the number of virtual experience type things that there are out there. You know, so yeah, we booked to do that, and you know, you can start that obviously at any time, because of course it's, you know, you're just doing it in your own home. So we booked to do that. It was a really lovely sunny day on his birthday. I mean, it was absolutely freezing cold, I have to say. I think it was literally 0 even in the middle of the day. So I mean, it was literally freezing. But it was one of those really beautiful, crisp, sunny days. So we had such a nice time. We went down to a beach that's quite near us, not the beach that we normally go to, but we went to another strip of beach, and they've got a promenade. So we walked along the promenade. You know, he obviously had his girlfriend with him, so that was really nice. Yeah, it was just really lovely. And then we came back to obviously play the virtual escape room. Now, I have to say, it was really good and really, you know, really quite exciting. You got quite into it and all of that type of stuff. And then suddenly it just stopped working. It was such a shame, because I'm going to just use this 6x6 sheet now, because of course I bought this along, so I might as well use this. It just suddenly stopped working, because obviously, you know, you were doing it all on your phone really. But you were able to actually hook your laptop up as well, because you were doing things like searching a criminal database and things like that, and looking at somebody's Twitter feed. You know, this is all kind of made up profiles, you know, and things like that. But I mean, really, really fun, and it felt like a sort of proper investigation. So it was really, really fun. And then you've got this kind of figure at the end of the phone, like a computerized voice, I guess, at the end of the phone. But I mean, it sounded like a real person, you know. And you're reporting back to them, you know, sort of each stage, and kind of saying, oh, I found them on the database, you know, and things like that. And it was really, really, really good. And then just suddenly it stopped working, which was so annoying, because we were texting them saying, you know, that we'd found the next thing they'd asked us to look for. And we just received no reply. So we waited and we waited, keep thinking, oh, well, you know, perhaps it's this or perhaps it's that, you know. And no, never did end up getting a reply. So in the end, we kind of thought, well, perhaps, you know, perhaps the time's up. I mean, I didn't think there was a time limit on the virtual ones, but I thought, well, that's the only explanation. So we stopped playing it. And then lo and behold, about an hour and a half later, we got a text message saying they were having technical problems, and that our game should be, you know, working properly now. So we tried to resume the game, but unfortunately, again, still wasn't working. So we gave up again. And then weirdly enough, my son received another text from them, literally in the middle of the night, like at about 2 o'clock in the morning, saying, you know, they apologised and the game should be fixed. Well, of course, I mean, he didn't try it because it was in the middle of the night. But lo and behold, the next day we tried it and it still wasn't working. So it was such a shame. We will, you know, hopefully this week when we get a bit of time, try contacting them again, because to be honest, the game was really fun. And, you know, we would like to probably just finish the game. So, yeah, it was a shame. I'm not sure what the technical difficulties were. I don't know whether it because, you know, being New Year's Eve, perhaps a lot of people were playing and maybe their system just couldn't cope with the demand. I don't honestly know. But it was a shame because the actual, you know, the concept was really great. And actually the experience, you know, it felt quite, you know, quite realistic and really quite fun and exciting. So, yeah, it was a bit of a shame. Right, I will probably call that quits for making these and we'll decorate one up. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's pretty good. Just before we decorate one up, I just do want to actually quickly show you 1 or 2 things. So the first thing I want to show you is this gorgeous Christmas card that I received. This card is by Claire. I don't like to say her last name because I just never know whether people are happy for me to do that. So it was sent to me by Claire, and Claire, if you're watching, I just want to say thank you so much. What a beautiful card. It's so pretty. I don't know whether you guys can see, but it's got these beautiful Christmas buttons on with the most delicate little images of Santa and things. Oh, they're so pretty. And this beautiful applique. And this lovely lace trim and things. It's just such a pretty card. So thank you so much, Claire. Really, really pretty. And I had meant to show it actually just before Christmas and then totally slipped my mind. And then, of course, it was on my mantelpiece. And so, you know, it wasn't kind of in my eyes view when I was doing a video. So it kept slipping my mind to actually show it. But what a beautiful card. So thank you so much, Claire. I will be keeping that in with my box where I keep letters and things, you know, from people. So thank you so much. What a kind thing to do. And the other thing that I thought I would just quickly show you is this is a journal that I'm working on, and I just wanted to quickly show you. If you joined me for the mass make a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it was last week actually, and we made the little fold out pockets that literally were, oh, let me just grab a piece of paper. So excuse the back of this paper, that we just did a fold up, if you recall, and then we did, oh, I think we did them this way around actually, a fold up and a fold down like that, and then we folded them into a sort of booklet like that. So if you joined along with me last week and we made those, I just wanted to show you what I've done with one of those pockets that I made. Because what I have actually done on here is I've glued the pocket down. I'll just move this out of the way so that I can show you. So I glued the pocket down. Obviously it's a double pocket, but I glued it down on 3 sides on this side of the page. So you've got a pocket here on the side, which is obviously where I had this piece. You've got a pocket here, and then I did a pocket on the top as well. So that just tucks in. Oh, come on. Tucks in like that, and it's, sorry, that's just tucked under the ruffle. And then what I did on the other side was I didn't glue it down, and I've done a, you know, one of those policy envelope closure type mechanisms, and then it folds out for journaling there. So I just wanted to share that with you, because I know that sometimes when we do these mass makes, I then get messages kind of asking me, you know, I made a bunch, what would I do with it now? So obviously I do always show what it would look like on a page, or I try to, but I just wanted to show that sometimes, you know, depending on the piece that we've made, you can really alter how you actually use them on a page. So rather than just have this paper clipped in, I've glued one side down, and the other side then is a little fold out where again, we've got a side pocket and obviously the pocket here. And then I stuck some coffee dyed paper on, some more, you know, more room for journaling. And then obviously incorporated a little, you know, policy envelope closure there. So I just wanted to kind of share that because, you know, I just think it's quite nice to see that you don't have to use things in the kind of, what's the word? You know, how we make them. you can always, or, you know, more often than not, you can do other things as well and really then mix things up and change how they were going to be used. So let's decorate one of these up. So should we just decorate this one up, because this one's kind of like fallen on here, so it's like it's calling to be used. So let's have a look. I'm just going to search around on my desk and see what I've got laying around that I can pull in and use. Oh, and talking of things that are just laying around my desk, I've just noticed got a little cluster. I wonder if that would be it's not brilliant colouring, is it? Hold on, let me just see whether I've got some others that might be better colour. Oh, that's a bit better, I think. Yeah. So I might just pull in that cluster and just use that. So I'm just going to ink around the whole thing. Just using Vintage Photo here. Like that. So I hope everyone else had a you know, really great New Year in the end. I mean, of course, it wasn't probably the New Year that, you know, many of you would have normally. I mean, you know, I don't really do much on New Year anyway, other than celebrate my son's birthday. And I don't really even bother staying up for 12 o'clock because I'm such a lightweight. So, yeah, for me, it wasn't kind of a big issue not going out. But, you know, obviously for some people it would be. I mean, my mum and dad, they do go out on New Year's Eve. And, you know, my dad loves going down the pub. And, I mean, I couldn't think of anything I would less want to do, to be honest. But he loves it. And last year, I always remember that he had said something to my mum when it was getting later and later. And she'd I think, said about not going out. And he said... oh my gosh, you know, that's the beginning of the end. The year we don't go out, you know, that's what's our lives come to, kind of thing. Well, and of course, who'd have thought that only 1 year later, lo and behold, they wouldn't be able to go out because of the situation that's going on around the world. So, yeah, he's obviously had to get a little bit more accustomed to not going out. So, and actually, I think he's adjusted just fine and probably used to it now, but I mean, at the time, it did really make me laugh because, you know, talk about different, you know, there's him saying, oh, that's the beginning of the end, the year we don't go out on New Year's Eve, you know. And there's me. Don't even bother going out on New Year's Eve anyway. Don't even bother staying up. Don't even bother staying up till midnight, even though I'm not going out. So, yeah. Right, I'm just wondering whether we could have it like that. Now, I'm still deciding whether I would like this, you know, like the one that we did where we put that little book, you know, the pocket on the back. So I'm just wondering whether to do that on here. We could have it like that, I guess. No, I think I'm going to do that. So let me just pull in some more of that paper. So I think what we'll do is just pop that down on the back, but actually, I don't want to have it like that. Yeah, maybe we do. Maybe we do. So let's just go. Oh gosh, I'm going to have to cut that down. So I'm being a bit extravagant with the paper here, I have to say. Okay. So I may come on at some point this week and make a birthday card for my daughter, actually. I know not everybody would be very interested in obviously making a card, but I know that, you know, lots of you ladies do still make cards. You know, and some of you would like to make cards but haven't ever tried. So, yeah, I may come on and make a little card for her. So, I mean, I don't make that many cards anymore. I tend to make kind of a few and have them in my stash and just use them then. But of course, you know, I do make special ones for, you know, the kids and things. when it's their birthdays. So, you know, I'd like to make one, a special one for her. So I may come on and do that. But like I say, I mean, I do realise that's not everybody's thing. But, you know, each to their own, really. But I know I've said this before. I mean, I just can't bring myself to actually go and buy a card when I've got so much stuff that I can just easily make one. You know, that it just seems like such a waste of money to just go and buy one when you've got all that stuff sat there and can just make one. And to be honest, I like the process of making a card still. I think it's, you know, really fun to do. So, right, there we go. So there's my pocket. And so this one I would obviously glue onto a page with the back here, if you see what I mean. So I'm thinking have this on here because I quite liked how that looked. And then this little bit of lace that, I mean, it's just perfect size, just coincidentally. I mean, it was just laying around on my desk, but it just turned out to be the perfect size. So I think what I'm going to do is just have it like that. Now, do I want a bit of book page behind here, do you think? Let's just double check. Just bring in my book page here. Oh, perhaps I do. Yeah, okay. So just glue that onto there. Yeah, it's always a bit of a problem, isn't it? When, you know, people have birthdays so near to Christmas, you know, because they just don't really know what they want, do they? And, you know, you never know what to kind of get people. My sister's birthday is also this week. And, in fact, hers is tomorrow. And it's just a bit of a nightmare, isn't it? Okay. So my daughter, she didn't, obviously, again, she didn't really know what to ask for either. So I just got her a few little bits and pieces. I don't really like to say out loud in case she's in earshot. I don't think she is, but I can't really kind of tell where she is. She's definitely not in the garden anymore because we would be hearing her. So just in case she's kind of in her bedroom or anything, then I'd best be a bit quiet. So yeah, just got her a few little bits and pieces from Amazon. So yeah, good old Amazon, because of course none of our shops are open, only the kind of essential shops are open at the moment. So, you know, supermarkets really. And yeah, so, and like I say, I mean, she really didn't know what to have anyway. So right, yeah, I like that with the book page behind, I think. So I'm just going to glue that one on there flat like that. I was going to make it a pocket, but I'm not going to because it's got that book page. You know, the book page isn't necessarily an ideal, you know, thickness to use as a pocket. So just glue that one down like that. So depending on whether she is back at school next week, really, we may do covers next week. It would just kind of depend, really. Or, you know, I mean, if she's still not looking like she's going to go back to school for ages, I might just have to bite the bullet and do them anyway, but kind of see. Right, I'm going to glue that lace trim down on the bottom. Like I say, that was just laying on my desk, and what a weird coincidence that it just literally happened to be the exact right size. You know, how strange is that? It was clearly meant to be, wasn't it? So again, just using that trick of the lace on my hand, which again, lots of people have said it was Andrea from Artie Mays who did that. And weirdly enough, actually, I think I can picture her doing it. So yeah, thank you, Andrea, if you ever see this video. Great, awesome idea. Okay, and then I'm just going to pop that down over to the side. I think looks quite nice. So I might just even hot glue this on, to be honest. It's nice and quick. Okie dokie. Put that on like that. And then I think to kind of tie the two, you know, the top and the bottom in together, this is a little Martha Stewart butterfly on here. Oops, and when I say that, I just mean the Martha Stewart butterfly punch, which I use quite a lot. I always keep some just punched out, ready to use. So that's just one there, and I'm just going to ink that up. I don't know whether it's the same colour, to be honest. I don't think it is. But it will tie in fine. So here we go. Just inking that up. Okay, and I think we'll just glue that down like that. So just pop that one down there. Oops. Like that. Okay, and I'm just going to ink this side because of course that's not been inked up yet. So you've got kind of more journaling space here as well. So, I mean, they're just brilliant pockets, aren't they? You know, very, very versatile, I think. And then do we want a little bit of bling? Again, I just happen to have this piece just laying there, which just was galling out, wasn't it, to be used. So again, I'm just going to hot glue that down. Like that. Yay, there we go. Okay. And of course, the other thing that I'm hoping to do this week is the January Facebook group challenge, which again, I haven't really given it much thought yet. So I'm going to have to come up with something for the word of January. I keep going to say acoustic. It's not acoustic, is it? Anyway, for the month of January. So that's that one. Let me show you kind of roughly how that would look on a page. So I'll just pull in my journal again, and if I just get to a page with not a lot on it. So that's how that would look on a page. Let me move this out of the way because I know it's a bit of a squash. But so again, you know, these really could be used in any way, but because I've done the top as a, you know, further pocket, I then would just glue this, you know, probably actually on these three sides. So it would then be a side pocket there, you'd have a top pocket there, a little fold out with journaling space, and then a pocket down here as well. Of course, you could still, you know, I guess fold this round and have it as a, you know, a bendy backwards pocket. But yeah, you know, for this one, because I have put the back piece on here, I would probably use it like that. But, you know, I think there's lots of different options and ways of using these. Because like I say, you could have this like this, where you've got hidden pockets. I mean, I really like the idea of that because you've got a big space then to decorate. And again, I mean, you could probably even have this as like a pocket on the other side and have it as a hinged pocket off the page. Again, a bit like how we did, you know, on the one that I just showed you from last week. So lots and lots of different options for these. Very, very versatile. So I absolutely love them. So thank you so much, Sue. If you do ever see this video, I just want to say thank you so much. What a fantastic idea. So yeah, I hope that you like the pockets, and I hope that everybody's doing really well, having, you know, a nice start to 2021. And thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully see you again tomorrow. Thanks then. Bye.